And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies. Let's see. Yeah.
It's like a dog.
Yeah. Complete with fleas. Yeah. All right. So, if you would like to keep the air conditioning running, and please God, let us keep the air conditioning running, donate here. Every little bit goes to Willis Carrier's famous invention.
Yeah, 96 feels like 102. Damn
Every
humidity.
Every bit of it. If you like coffee, and who doesn't? Coffee helps the brain squirrels calm down. King Harv's Imperial Coffees at www.kingharv.com. If you order from them, and you should, please remember to let them know you heard about it from us. It's summer. You need a smart-ass t-shirt. Among the Leaves Tees. tinyurl.com. Among the Leaves Tees. Friend of ours. Let them know you heard about it from us.
And we have our first rant of the day in the chat. So
we do?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be good.
Yeah. And this comes from Joel Salmon. Someone posted a video of a Jewish kid in Israel drunk, babbling about how much he loves God.
Okay.
However, somebody else seeded it with a completely fake translation of the video to Reddit, claiming the kid was bragging about stealing money from non-Jews and other anti-Semitic tropes, done by Grock.
Huh.
Guess which one Grock refuses to take down? The fake translation.
My shocked face.
Yeah.
Let me show you it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And of course, Rick was talking about working with NVIDIA, which they make the best video cards in the world. I mean, hands down. We used them for some stuff years ago in the Navy to get some parallel processing going, which was interesting, the number of cores you could get with a couple of NVIDIA cards. But what they're doing is they're using AI hype to sell those GPUs to the coin miners, Bitcoin. They buy them in bulk, and it's all AI hype, very little substance in the text world. So again, not a surprise. Yeah. And Rick adds, all of the LLMs are woke evil. That's because what they get trained on. Otherwise, they seem to invariably turn into real nationalist, socialist Nazis. Yeah, they're realizing that the AIs are not all they're cracked up to be.
No.
My shocked face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
And all of the Chicken Little, the sky is falling because AI needs to blow your roll.
No, Differ says their front porch is 111. Ow, that's warm, girl.
So here's the thing with the AI, and something that I made a comment to the effect of the writers that are all concerned about AI. The AI is a predictive algorithm.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So you have a word, and it predicts what is most likely to come next in the word in the style in which you have told it to go. So if you're saying, okay, I want to write a fantasy story, it's going to predict what will follow that initial word in a fantasy story. In other words, if your writing is not banal and derivative, you have nothing to worry about from the AI, because the AI is going to give you the average, the common denominator.
Yep. If you are predictable enough to be replaced by an AI, you deserve to be replaced.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, that too.
For those of you who follow mine and Rita's Substack, I use Night Cafe to AI generate Fox images for each. It makes it easier for me to track posts. So each post has a unique Fox image that I use Night Cafe to generate. And somebody was at me because you're stealing from artists.
No.
So
it's not how the AI works.
No. And also, there are not that many artists making or depicting anthropomorphic foxes that I'm taking business away from them.
Plus, I mean, okay, so here's the thing, which is basically the AI largely replaces.
We need to cool this
stock
off.
art.
Hang on a second.
What's that?
I need to cool this place off with it. Damn.
Okay. The AI largely replaces stock art. So
Yep.
it's replacing what would have been at one point or another the stuff that you went and you bought by the job lot as clip art.
Yeah. Clip art.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with using AI generated art. I do it all the time, but I'm not doing it in such a way where it is remaining in that dull average thing. I'm editing and working with it to get it beyond that. And the other thing is most of the free AI art generators are quite frankly bad because they were trained on the entirety of the internet.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine the entirety of the internet encompassing a few really good artists and a whole crapload of clip art, then that's what you're going to get. And
a lot of the times, I did a Fox Warrior in a 1,001 night marketplace, Arabian Nights marketplace. It's folks are very, very happy about it. And I think, if I remember right, the modifiers I used were Boris Vallejo, Frank Frazetta, and somebody else. That was the one that somebody was at me about. It's like, okay, would you please kindly show me where Boris Vallejo ever did anthropomorphic foxes?
Yeah.
Or Frank Frazetta. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Well, you did it in the style of yes, and then 9 to 1 of them are losing money.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too, which is if I'm going to prompt for a specific artist, I only use dead artists.
Yeah.
So I'm working with artists that are in the public domain. But if I combine 3 dead artists and I know who I'm doing and who I'm trying to look like, I wind up with a living, working artist because everyone has influences.
Yep.
Humans do not train in a vacuum, and neither did the AI.
Yeah, and Rick says, how many AI hands have 5 fingers plus the thumb?
Rick, a lot more than you're thinking. That can no longer be used as a derogatory for AI.
Yeah.
It is a bug that has been largely solved, partly because everybody was up in arms. All the arms. You guys are missing out on the special effects here.
She was doing the Kermit flail. Well, and my on the foxes, on the early iterations of anthropomorphic foxes I did, the tails were a pain in the ass. The tails were popping out of weird. Weird. And the latest generation, I forget which one I'm using, high def, I think. They finally got the tails coming out the right places.
Yeah, that brings up something we were discussing off camera before we started. And that is using AIs for search tools. Research is a critical part of being a writer. Well, for a lot of people, it's a critical part of being a writer. Knowing how to search and where to search and what you're searching for can get interesting. I will just say that Google does not know jack or shit about trenches in the ocean, nor are they easily found by AI.
If you weren't trained by Wikipedia to double check your research, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh yeah, no, trust but verify. Always, always, always. Doesn't matter what source I'm getting it from. It could be published in the Scientific American, and you betcha I'm trust but verify 3 ways from Sunday.
If you get search results off of Wikipedia, and
so here's what Wikipedia is good for. You scroll all the way to the bottom to the bibliography, and then you go and verify that it actually exists, because I have found the sources linked that did not exist.
Oh, of course. Yeah, Google search has really become crap. Well, it always was.
So right now what I'm using, there's 2 things that I'm using, and both of them I use because they cite their sources and I can then verify. So Perplexity is a search engine thing that will give you results when you type in a question. how do I make Welsh rarebit? And it'll tell me, but it will have in little footnotes all the linked sources,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
which is really nice. And Grok does the same thing if you ask it to cite its sources, which I always
And
do
then go
because
back
I
and
want to
check
know.
the sources.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, you can't be lazy with it, but this is no different than if I walk into my library at home and pull a book off the shelf and read in it that MacArthur returned surreptitiously to the Philippines and fought a guerrilla war. I am going to verify that by another source because obviously it sounds fake, but
it was obviously not true.
right. But that's the thing, which is even published in a book, you can have stuff that's wrong.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm running into that in one of the books that I'm reading for research purposes on Francis Marion.
Yes.
It is not a true history bibliography of it.
Hmm.
It was written by a doctor who knew him, who purposely inflated the things that
Oh yeah.
Marion did.
Oh yeah.
Well, what is it they tell us not to trust Herodotus?
Yeah.
So this is not a new problem.
New.
No.
Well, and the further back you go, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you always got to remember the winners write the history.
Yep.
Oh yeah. The when I was doing the Idiot's Guide to Maltese History, or Complete Guide to Maltese History for the first Ghost of Malta, I was going back and verifying, and oh boy, the different accounts of Mathurin Romagast's life, wow, varied wildly depending on which book you read.
Yes, Nancy, Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox.
Devilette, again,
Yeah.
it varied wildly. Now, there was one book said he'd been a galley slave.
Which is not true.
I don't know if it was or wasn't. One book said he was, one book said he wasn't. Nobody knows.
Yeah. The
And
other thing,
there were things that were deliberately made up to either vilify or make someone more
elevate them, yeah.
yeah. And that was done because who was paying the historian?
Well, and also there you've got the one that sets my teeth on edge is when something is, let us say, modified to help something from the past is modified to help a current political or that sets my teeth on edge.
And you get a lot of that in Wikipedia.
Oh God,
Well, Wikipedia is known for a
Wikipedia
bias
is trash.
there. But that's why, I mean, like I said, you have to check your bibliography,
Yeah.
you have to check your sources. I always try to not rely on if it's important. I mean,
Yeah.
Today I'm doing research for a short story, and there's stuff in there that isn't that critical that I can have a single point source of
Yeah.
information, and that's fine. But if it's critical, or if I'm writing a paper or an article that needs to be
Right.
verifiable, I would like to at least have 3 sources that were not incestuous.
Yeah.
Because incestuous sources are very common, especially
Oh,
in
yeah.
things like anthropology.
It's not a science.
Get Alma started on that, and she will
Mm-hmm.
lecture you for hours.
I was amused that the latest book review that Alma put up on her blog, because she was ambivalent.
That's probably the best word for it.
And please God, don't use fiction as a source.
Oh God, no.
And Wikipedia is bad about this. Does anybody remember the big, very brief but very large kerfuffle at Wikipedia when it was discovered that their #1 Catholic priest contributor turned out to be a 14-year-old wanker in his mom's basement?
Yeah.
And he was using the Canticles of Leibowitz or something as his to write the articles.
Oh yeah. But it's,
I would say there's actually an exception to that. You can use a novel as a source if it's something like the Tales of Genji or Don Quixote, and what you're actually looking at is a minor something from that era for a historical thing. And again, with I'm getting back towards more like anthropology, or my particular thing, food anthropology.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a novel that was written in an era, if they describe something like clothing or food, it's something that the author would have been familiar with.
Yeah.
Then it's probably accurate.
Or you get the opposite, where they've got something that they're so familiar with and they figure everybody knows about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they never put it in.
Yeah.
Because obviously you'd already know about it. Like the third spice jar.
That's actually the reason that I know people have gone back and used fiction from certain eras, because there's things that everybody knew. So nobody describes them in any
In
scholarly
the
way.
1600s, there were 3 spice jars on the table: salt, pepper, and the third one. and everybody knew what went in there, so nobody ever wrote it down because everybody knew it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And never trust fact checkers like Snopes. Yes.
Oh
Well,
no.
and
I've known that for 20 odd years.
I use when I'm researching Westerns specifically, I will go back and look for documents, and especially pricing, because a lot of the stores sent out catalogs. So I've actually used catalogs to go back and pick up accurate pricing.
I have a reproduction 1897 Sears and Roebuck's catalog at home.
oh wow.
Very useful for. My grandmother gave that to me when I saw her this summer, and I was tickled because I am planning to expand a short story that I wrote set in Texas in the 1890s, and this will give me an idea of what things cost.
Yeah.
But what kicked off my thing about using fiction is, and a lot of, I'm about to go off on a rant, and kids, ask your parents. Frederick Forsyth wrote fiction spy thrillers, and he wrote A Day of the Jackal, and in it he described a mercury tipped bullet as being explosive. And people that should have known better ran with that. It's like, yes, you drill a hole for the nose of the bullet, you put a drop of mercury in there, you seal it up, it explodes when it hits. And people should have known better, because Frederick Forsyth wrote it, decided that was gospel. And it's taken us 20 or 30 years
to get over that.
To get that done with.
Oh, yeah.
The chemist is sitting over here going, how even?
Anybody with a basic knowledge of physics should have gone, no, that doesn't, no, what the hell?
Yeah.
In good news, if you're on Facebook or you've been reading my Substack, my short story, Friday Night Whites, was accepted for the second Monster Hunter Files anthology.
Yay.
So, yay. Go me. That was the big project I've been working on for a while. And if you go to my Substack, I explain why people still believe that. God damn it.
Yeah.
So what's the saying? A lie can get around the world 3 times before the truth
Truth
has
gets
time hits his pants on.
Yeah. Truth gets pants on. Yes, I'm T. Van Moore. Woo! It's only 2 years late.
Yeah. I always get my advice on how to conduct assassinations from novels.
Yeah. People do.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. The Christians in Action, the CIA.
Anarchist Cookbook. Yeah.
The number of bullshit the CIA comes up with because they read a Frederick Forsyth novel.
I started writing a book. When it's finally done, it'll be called 10 Pigeons.
Yeah.
And it started out as just a mystery story. And then it kind of took a left turn into espionage, and specifically Cold War espionage, as carried on by people who had been in like the French Resistance. And there's some really interesting characters and that I was vaguely aware of. But I had to stop writing this, and this has been a couple of years back now. It's been on the back burner for a while, because I knew I had to do a whole lot more research.
Yeah.
that I could not go with my teenage infatuation with Ian Fleming's novels. Although I later found out as I was doing research that Fleming may have been writing accurate stuff into the Bond novels because he was so frustrated with the Official Secrets Act, which wouldn't allow it to be released.
Yep.
So as it turns out, I might have been able to rely on.
Ian Fleming wasn't bad. But Frederick Forsyth, it's the CIA. This is the same group of numbnuts who decided that exploding seashells to assassinate Castro was a good idea. Give me 2 freaking Rangers and a law rocket, and I'll take care of the problem. No, we must do it this way. Two Rangers and 1 anti-tank rocket, and I got the shit sorted.
There are a number of novelists who were indeed veterans of wars.
Yeah.
And Ian Fleming was never active per se, but he was certainly connected.
He had a kin,
with,
either a brother or a cousin.
He had a cousin who
well,
was.
and he was working closely with. This is what I was reading the book about Operation Postmaster recently.
He worked closely with the Ungentlemanly Warfare Group.
Yes, he did.
And
so
SOE.
he knew what he was writing about. But
Yeah.
then it's also, if you look at like Alistair MacLean,
Yeah.
Dick Francis of all people, although what he wrote about later bore no resemblance to what his service would have looked like. But if we go even back further, Tolkien.
Yeah.
So, and all of that informs their writing in ways that are probably unexpected to those readers who aren't familiar with hanging out with a bunch of veterans.
Yeah.
No, I get frustrated because I'd be sitting there and somebody come up with an idea and it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Simple and direct, get shit done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do simple direct? No.
But that makes for a great plot when the powers that be have this overly complicated plan.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to have our hero.
Thank God the Soviet Union was just as freaking bad.
As Don says, look at the U.S. government trying to use incendiary bats. Yeah. Yeah. That was not a joke.
No, and there was quite a bit of research done on the use of insects in warfare.
Oh, yeah.
I have a book at home that I really should finish reading that's called Sixlegged Soldiers.
Yeah. The Imperial Japan in World War II was experimenting with ceramic bombs filled with plague-bearing fleas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the, among other things, there's been a number of, from as simple as, let's flip this wasp nest over the wall into the castle.
Yeah.
Siege warfare.
Greg is correct. Best book about the OSS is You're Stepping My Cloak and Dagger by Roger Hall. It is a fantastic, and it should be required reading.
Is Roger Hall related to Virginia Hall?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I have her autobiography on my queue.
Yeah.
It's
You stepped on my cloak and dagger?
You're stepping on my cloak and dagger.
Thank you.
I read it in junior high, I think.
Have a good one, Sarah.
I read it in junior high, and it was eye-opening because I had seen the Christians in action.
Yeah.
In action in West Africa. One of the funniest things that I managed to turn the tables on Jim, who knows everybody, because I was in his yard showing showing somebody the proper way to knife a sentry and not cut your own tendons. And the guy across the street was looking out the window. Turns out the guy across the street had been a station chief in Nigeria, same time we were there, and
actually
hired my baby sister's nanny to work for him, and probably wound up passed out on my mom's carpet at least once. And how the hell the CIA station chief in West Africa wound up in Owl Park, Texas? Not for long, I noticed.
Yeah.
With a quickness after
moved to Dallas.
Did he move to Dallas? That's nice.
Yep.
There are jobs in Dallas.
Yeah, Russians tried to train dogs to carry anti-tank mines under the German tanks.
Yeah, those bastards. But
Yeah, the problem was they taught them to run under Soviet tanks.
and they did.
So they did. Yeah.
It serves them right. Dogs, bastards. No, it's and that's for the one time Jim didn't walk somewhere and get somebody go, hey, there's Jim. It was me.
It freaked your ass out too.
It did.
Yeah.
He literally came back in the house shaking, going, I ain't believing that shit. I ain't believing that shit. I ain't believing that shit.
Because he went, wait a minute, you're shit. After we talked for a while, he went, wait a minute, you're Jim's son. Fuck.
But that also points out things that you can use in your writing when you have had boots on the ground and you know the environment, you know the situation. You know, for example, you can verify this. The Grand Church in Malta, the floor is the tombstones of the previous.
They were buried in the floor.
Yeah, they were buried in the floor.
Yeah.
And these are very
St.
illegal,
John's Co-Cathedral.
That's not uncommon.
No.
Churches.
but there are literally hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very elaborate. And they've been walked on for
Oh yeah.
1,000 years now.
Jim's, yeah, my father's name was Jim McMurtry.
Yeah.
Jim's kid. I realize, as the only white children in 1,000 square miles, but Jim's son just, of course, my mom and dad had to fix a bunch of CIA bullshit more than once.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
English churches and cathedrals, yeah, they tend to do that a lot. And
It's Malta, not a whole lot of territory for
Yeah.
graveyards.
yeah, and it was also the St. John Hospitallers.
Yeah.
That's their original name. And they came from
Roads.
Rhodes, so they were used to being compressed into a very
Mhm.
small area.
Mm-hmm.
They were based out of Rhodes, and the Ottoman Empire decided they were going to turf them out.
Yeah.
And that didn't work worth a damn. So they finally, the Ottoman Empire negotiated a ceasefire where the knights, then hospitaliers, could leave with all their weapons.
Yeah.
And their heads held high. So they went off to Malta, which would belong to somebody who wanted to get rid of it. So he gave it to these knights. And they
Little did they know.
was set up to be a pain in the Ottoman Empire's ass.
Yeah.
And everybody else's ass too. I
Yeah.
think. They kept raiding Viennese merchant vessels. The Vienna was theoretically allies with the Christians against the Muslims, but they were trading on the regular. So knights went, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Wait.
They,
Vienna or Venetian?
Venetian. I'm sorry, Venice.
No, that's
Venice.
okay. I'm
Venice,
trying
yeah.
to think through the logistics
Yeah.
of Viennese and
Venice.
Okay.
Venetian.
Venetian makes
The,
more
the
sense.
Venetians were playing off both sides, and the knights went,
Yes.
all right, you're a fair game. And they every time their fleets got sunk and sold off, they'd raise holy hell with the Holy Roman Emperor, who would
Yeah.
go, bad knights, stop it. They'd go, all right, and turn around and do it again.
I just finished reading 1453, which is the siege and fall of Constantinople.
Yeah.
And the Venetians were playing both sides against the middle there
Oh, yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
From the get gone. Yeah.
That is correct, Brian. That's why one of the Masonic orders uses the Maltese cross as its symbol.
But yeah, the Venetians had been playing off both sides, and yo ho ho,
Yeah.
stop that.
And that's
Okay.
that's another one. You know, the Masonic orders have been portrayed for years as the New World Order, Antichrist, anti this, anti that, mostly because of the Catholic Church.
Which is odd because half of them are Catholic orders.
I was going to say.
Well, the problem is the Catholics have their own order.
Oh yeah,
They did not like the competition.
No. They've never liked competition.
Yeah.
nobody likes competition.
Yeah.
Not
So they
maybe officially, but not.
So going back literally over 1,000 years, have been against the Masons, because the Masons only require belief in a superior being.
Mhm.
They don't name that superior being. But the funny part is,
The Mason I know best is Jewish.
I am a Mason. I know Masons,
Okay, I didn't even realize you were.
and I have known a number of Catholics who are Masons.
Yeah.
Now they do not wear a Masonic ring,
Mm-hmm.
but they are Masons. But the Masons adopted a number of different things from for reasons, and I'll just not go into it. But they say that Masonic Order is a secret order. You go down to a bookstore and
Yeah.
buy the ritual books for a Mason.
It's one of the worst kept secrets I've ever.
Yeah.
Second
But
only to the
that has-
CIA.
Perpetrated the myth for over 1,000 years. So it's interesting. What a lot of people don't realize is each one of the Masonic organizations has a beneficiary that they donate money to. The Blue Lodges, which are your basic Masons, it's widows and orphans.
Mm-hmm.
The Scottish Rite, which I'm a member of, is language services for people that have they're autistic, they have issues speaking, things like that. The Knights Templar, they do vision. And then the Shrine does the crippled children's and burns hospitals. By the way, if you have to go to a Shrine hospital, you never pay a penny. It's all paid for by the Masons. The Masons worldwide, and this was over 10 years ago when I checked on it, the average donation per day for Masonic lodges worldwide was $1.7 million per day donated. And there's a lot of good done with that money.
Mm-hmm.
The matter of fact, during 9/11, the first donation in 9/11 was $1 million from the New York Masonic Lodge. That was the first donation.
I'm just
The
tickled.
building hadn't even finished falling, and it was already donating money.
I'm just tickled pink. The Masons have a lodge at Tranquility Base.
So here's
Yep.
the thing that this ties into with what we were talking about earlier with research
Yeah.
is for charitable donations, you want to do your research.
Yeah.
And you want to see where the money is going and how much of it is going to go to the named target.
Yeah.
Because a lot of so-called charitable associations are no such thing.
Oh, yeah.
They pay their people very, very well, and a penny might make it to the poor.
We're also learning that courtesy of the California fire victims,
Yeah.
that all of the donated money, a little over half of it is going to organizations that don't have a damn thing to do with Fire California or the California fire victims.
Yeah. And Brian pointed out, and he's right, Kipling was a Mason.
Yep.
Which is the point in the Man Who Would Be King. Yes. My father's father was 32nd degree in one right in Kansas City. My mother's father was the same degree in the Scottish Rite in Chicago. Yep, that happened. My dad was actually Knights Templar. I was Scottish Rite because as it turned out, it was easier for me to join Scottish Rite because of my schedule. Because the days of the meetings, it was easier for me to make Scottish Rite.
I'm not sure I want to be a member of any organization that would have me.
Yeah. And Don makes a good point. Police benevolent societies are neither benevolent
Nor
or police. Yeah.
do not belong. Do not belong.
Yeah, money not going to victims in California.
Yep.
What a surprise. Yeah.
Yep, a little. I think, right? It's up to half of it.
Yeah.
And there was one NGO charity who received a shit ton of money donated to the to fire victims.
Yeah.
Whose only job is funneling money to other NGOs.
And as far
California
as I know,
Never fails to disappoint.
Nobody has received any money. At least none that I'm aware of in either Altadena or in Pacific Palisades.
Now, shock face. Let
Yeah.
me show you it. In other political news, come to shock faces.
Yeah.
The Texas Democrats have yet again
Yeah.
decided to get skedaddle off out of state rather than do what they're getting paid to do. Granted,
Yes.
they're not getting paid much, but they decided to over the redistricting. And let's call it what it is, the gerrymandering. It is gerrymandering. But I love the fact that the Texas Democrats, when they decided to do their kittenish little display in defiance of gerrymandering, decided to go to the single most gerrymandered state in the union,
Chicago.
Illinois.
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, Tony Bebb, Bravo, Echo, Bravo, Bravo, Tony, common spelling, has a post up that's glorious in which he points out how many states are gerrymandered in favor of the Democrats.
Oh, yeah. Well, hell, Larry's got one up too.
Yeah, he redid Tony's.
Oh, he did?
He cut and pasted Tony's.
Yeah.
And the fun part, I was going to do an article on it, but Tony did such a good job. But during the course of my article, I was looking at current gerrymandered congressional districts in Texas.
Yeah.
There's this lovely one that starts in San Antonio. I think it's the Texas 35th, but don't quote me on that. Goes up 35, and it's about that wide.
Yep.
In actual, it's about that wide. Currently held by a Democrat. And then there's Sheila Jackson Lee's district in Houston that was one street wide and the entire and Connecticut long.
Yep.
And trust me, Sheila Jackson Lee was not a Republican.
No. The bottom line is, it's as Rafter said, it's only gerrymandering when the Republicans do
Yeah.
it.
California, he named about 4 states that have damn near half of the state has voted Republican.
Yeah.
With 0 Republican.
New York, Rhode Island,
Delaware, Connecticut, or something like that.
Massachusetts, Illinois, and California. Yeah.
0. No,
Very few.
California's actually got a couple, at least one Republican.
Yeah.
But there's these states that up to 40% of the state returns a vote for Republicans. However, none of their districts, they're all gerrymandered to.
Rick is correct. Less than 20% in California. Every elected officer is Democratic there now. Yes. So this is not unusual.
Yeah.
The only problem is that the Democrats are now getting.
The Republicans are finally catching up, and the Democrats are pissed about it.
Yeah.
It's just for us to do.
Yeah.
I wrote an article a long time ago about the surest way to lose a fight is to follow the Marquis of Queensberry's rules while your opponent is gutter fighting.
You're not cheating, you're not winning.
If your
You're not
opponent,
cheating, you're not even trying.
if your opponent is gutter fighting and you're sticking to the Marquis of Queensberry's rules, you're going to lose. The Republicans have been doing that. Well, now they're not. And boy, the Democrats are pissed.
Yep. Hoist on their own petard for a change.
Yeah, get over it. Or they won't. I don't care.
Actually, what he's looking at doing is
He's issued a civil arrest.
civil arrest warrants for those who remained in the state. And if they do not show up on Friday,
He's going to consider them to be absconded.
Yeah.
And have willingly abandoned their seats so that the seats can be
Proportioned.
can be reassigned according to the Texas state constitution.
Yeah. Which means he gets to pick them.
He does. He does. Yeah. The
Yes, Dagamore. I remember that. The famous number 13 Chevelle that never raced on any track, anywhere. Went to Daytona, to qualify, quote unquote. And the car was supposedly I want to say a 64 Chevelle. And it was like 8/10 scale car. So it looked perfect. Just a little small. And they kept finding violations. And they found 14 major violations, including weight jackers and other things. And they pulled the gas tank out because it was suspect. And Unic got pissed and drove the car from Daytona back to his garage without a gas tank in it because his fuel lines were 2 inches in diameter. Because there was no specific size set. So he got an extra 4 gallons. I want to say it was 4 gallons of gas in his fuel line. And I mean, you know, Roger Penske, everybody thinks of Penske as being this upright, you know, guy, you know, Penske trucking, you know, and he's always run clean races and all that bullshit. That son of a bitch cheated as hard as he could cheat back during the Trans Am days. Mark Donohue's Camaro was acid dipped to the point that if you leaned on the car, it collapsed. It was so thin, the only thing holding the car together was the roll cage and the paint. He jacked up the refueling hose where it was 20 feet in the air on race day. So gravity fed, he could fill the car in about 4 seconds.
Michael says there's also a blackmail charge because the Democrats asked for donations. It's not blackmail, bribery.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Bribery charges are.
Yeah, John, that's the other thing Smokey Unic did. He ran his fuel lines through both frame rails and then back to the engine. And at 2-inch diameter, he had a lot of extra fuel. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah. NASCAR has become, again, after many years, now a fuel mileage at certain races. Pocono being one of them, Iowa being another one. And it was funny because this last weekend they ran Iowa, and people were saying that 4 of the top 5 cars probably did not have enough gas to finish the race. So they had a choice of continuing or pitting to have enough fuel to finish.
Okay.
The winner, they thought would run out of gas 1 lap short. He actually made it around, took the checkered flag, made it back around coasting, started to do his burnout, and ran out of gas.
That's embarrassing.
Well, this is after 2 races where he ran out of gas on the last lap. So at least this time it paid off.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no stock in NASCAR anymore. Yeah, those were the golden days when you could actually race the car and then buy the car on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Score back in the late 70s. We had some guys that were Class 2 truck. They ran Class 2 truck. They were out of Canada. They drove from Canada down to Southern California in their truck, changed the tires on it, changed the transmission out, raced it on the weekend, changed everything back out, and drove it home. So, yeah, they were basically stock vehicles. So, yeah, well, yeah, top fuel cars. Gallons to the mile. Actually, they don't have enough gas to make it a mile. And they're size limited on the engines because of the amount of power they put out. Because it's for safety. And they no longer run a full quarter mile. They run, I think it's either 1,000 feet or 800 feet because they get too much speed if they run a full quarter mile. They hit over 330 miles an hour. This is about a 10G hit.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, geez, new G-lock is the thing.
Yeah, 1,000 feet. Thank you. Yeah, 1280, they were too fast. They were hitting over 330 miles an hour.
So on this thing with Bane, the Monster Hunter files that I'm in,
yeah,
what we're trying to use it for is some extra marketing. So if y'all could tell everybody they need to buy it, so because I've been asked for bio, and I'm going to put Racketeer Press all over the bio.
Yeah.
So if you tell everybody they need to buy it, and so that everybody can see Racketeer Press in the bio, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. Hertz rental racers. Yeah. Hertz at one time was renting Shelby GT350s, and they did get rented on the weekend and raced. When autocross and solo started becoming a big thing, people would rent Volkswagen Rabbits and take them out and run them in autocross. And they would come back in on Sunday with the tires damn near bald. There was one guy that leased a BMW Z3 for 3 years. The only thing he did with it was racing on a weekend. And he had a bumper sticker thanks to BMW leasing.
Uh-huh.
That's all he was using the car for. So he kept it under the 12,000 miles a year.
Uh-huh.
But he might have used it a little hard, and it.
Brian, thank you. Nancy, yes. I'm in the second Monster Hunter Files anthology. Just it was Larry announced it today. So we're going to try to turn that into marketing to get Racketeer Press in front of some more eyes. But we need to build our fan base. So I'm getting desperate as far as trying to get eyes on our stuff.
Yeah, Dagamore,
Thank you, Tom.
That's becoming more and more popular. Who can't tell the difference between a smoke and a sprinkler? You'd be surprised, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Having worked in law enforcement for 26 years, including a couple of terms behind the desk, why are you surprised?
Yeah.
Did I mention who I was in? Not yet. But I tagged him to ask if I could start marketing. He said yes. So I'm marketing.
There's names on the cover. So
Names
that'll
you
tell you
expect.
at least 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
The names on the cover are Larry, Jason Cordova, Steve Diamond, and a couple other high profilers.
Yeah.
Casey Azell, I
Casey
think, has
Azell.
one in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, rental cars and race cars and cars for movies. The bullet cars, classic example. There were at least 2 surviving cars from the movie Bullet. One of which was the one that he drove on screen, and there was another that was a camera car that survived. Now, they've never admitted how many of those things they wrecked. But if you've ever jumped a car, it gets ugly when they land.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not real well designed for that.
The front wheels tend to point out, not in the normal directions.
Yes, John, I did know. John Van Stry's in the MHI anthology too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Brad
knew he was in it,
Torgerson
but
is another one that
Brad
was in there.
Torgerson. I didn't know if he wanted publicity on that. So
Yeah, Tom, I got asked if I wanted full coverage on my rental in Salt Lake City. They wanted $70 a day for full coverage, which was almost twice the rental rate on the vehicle. Yeah. Dagamore, the Volkswagen apparently got sold off and is lost in space. Now I have to air a weather one. Oh, joy, Don, you're having all kinds of fun today. But yeah, those two cars, one was found in a Mexican wrecking yard. That was the camera car. The other one, the guy bought for like $3,200 and kept it in the garage. And his son just sold it for $3.2 million.
Fancy that.
But
Good investment.
that stuff happens. Dukes of Hazzard. Oh God, how many cars did they wreck?
Oh God.
Woo! One, and I have no way to verify this. One said that they wrecked over 100 Chargers doing the TV show.
Like one per episode.
Pretty much. And they literally have only ever found one car that was documented as having been in the show. It wasn't wrecked. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, that's credit cards will pick up some rentals depending on what the credit card is.
Depending on how long you've been with them and
Yeah.
how good, how much they like you.
You can rent a car with a debit card. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't do rental cars. I can get an Uber, and
I have been in situations this year where I had to do a rental car.
Yeah.
So
I do an Uber because I can sit behind a driver with a gun pointed at his spine, and he's not going to get stupid.
Yeah.
for the rental car, I flew into Boston and had to make way down to Groton, Connecticut. That was not happening with an Uber.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, that's the reason you can't find any Chargers from that era. And Dagamore is right. Most of them were the old V6 stockers. And there were only a few of the Hemi cars that were ever actually used. And I think one of those has been found.
Rita and I got in an Uber. We were at Provo, and Rita was being Rita and wanted to go do something. I didn't realize Provo was as big as it was.
Yeah.
Provo kind of bleeds into.
Well,
Yeah.
Steve Ferris Bueller's car was a fake. It wasn't a real Ferrari.
So we got an Uber, and I put Rita in the back seat. I climbed in behind the driver, and she looked at me, and my little sweetheart knows, and she pats the driver. So please don't be stupid.
Yeah.
And the driver's like, "What?" She said, "Just don't be stupid. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Magnum PI car the first few seasons was also fake. Yeah. I mean,
Miami
they were out
Vice. Miami Vice. The
there. The Ferrari Miami Vice was fake.
yeah, the original black one was a repro.
Yeah. Yeah, the fake's over $337,000. Yep. People will buy that shit. A friend of mine's a former editor with CBS Television, now retired, and he's a member of the Television Motion Picture Association car club. And they have a number of cars in that club that are the real cars from the movies, from TV shows. And when they go to shows, and they'll put on a show at CBS every year, they literally have to have law enforcement there because of the value of the cars. I mean, you're talking probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 to $4 million worth of half a dozen cars sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The number plate on the Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah.
Also written by Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Chitty Bang Bang was written by Ian Fleming
Yeah.
of James Bond fame.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, people can write anything. You don't have to.
Should they?
I like Chitty Bang.
What was your comment Sunday morning about what Ben told you?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Ben tells me so many. It blew my friggin' mind this weekend. Rocked the foundations of my understanding. Just damn.
Oh, about somebody writing something specific.
Yes.
Somebody very well known in the science fiction community.
Mike Resnick. He told me that Mike Resnick wrote hard porn.
Look, a man's got to be able to pay his bills.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's
Hey,
like,
again, bills.
Mike Resnick? Mike Resnick.
Sense a word.
Groceries on the table. I
Yeah.
mean, hey, you do what you got to do.
Oh yeah, apparently he had a file, according to Ben, he had a file drawer of 3x5 cards. He'd be riding along and he'd get to a sex scene and he'd pull out a
Random card.
random card for the sex scene. Yeah, apparently Robert Silverberg. Thank you, John. Yes, Ben told me that too because he likes to watch my eyes spin.
Oh yeah, Ben was definitely at his impish best and
Yeah.
just winding Ian up.
Yeah, $20 is $20. That's right.
$20.
Well, yeah, actually, I have to admit the whole random sex scene card sounds like it might be fun to write.
Yeah.
Because you'd wind up with the completely wrong thing in the. Sorry.
Well, better that than every 57 pages. You know, you just skip the page because you know what it is.
Well, Sanford went to. I've dragged him a couple of times to the local book warehouse, the Friends of the.
If it's soft,
Library.
it's not entertaining. Oh, Ted.
No, he's not wrong. Depending on perspective.
Jonah says, so many of them did.
Apparently, and I did not know this. And
Yeah.
Ben was going down the list before I walked off because
I dragged Sanford to the book warehouse, and I've done this a couple of times, and he always grumbles about going, and then he gets into it when
Yeah.
it's there. But he reached up and pulled a slender paperback novel off of the shelf, and he's like, "Look, on page 17," and he opens the book and shows me there'll be a sex scene.
Yeah.
And it was not a science fiction book; it was a Western
Yeah.
novel
Tom says,
of a certain era.
I made the mistake of reading some women's fiction to see I should write for women then and needed a shower.
no kidding.
Yeah.
The award that we shall not speak of because I still have a case of the ass of those bastards.
I follow nothing about this award.
Yeah.
And I resist anyone shoving it in my face going, look.
A famous porn author who won a Hugo is apparently up for a dragon.
So this is the death knell of, because it killed, I mean, you knew that Chuck Tingle being on the Hugo nomination
Yeah.
was a bad sign.
Yeah.
Now that he's shown up on the dragon's going to follow the Hugo right down the toilet.
Apparently Chuck Tingle's up for Hugo. Guess who I'm voting for?
I'm kind of sorry I deleted the ballot now.
Brian says, reminds me of John Ringo using a Dungeon Master's manual to write March of Country.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Well, I mean, if you're stuck, having something that's able to prompt you, I mean, grab a 20-sided dice, assign something to all 20, roll, and go. I mean, there's so many creative ways to get yourself out of a rut.
I've got,
Yeah.
there was, in,
That's true, John. Vox Day is the one that got Tingle on the ballot.
Yes.
there
And
was,
probably why he's on the ballot, nominated
probably.
this year.
There was an instance in the 90s. Somebody published a book of, it was instant campaign. If you had a bunch of people show up and you needed to do a campaign, and it was basically a page after page of 20-side dice rolls with scenarios.
Yeah.
And you could run an entire campaign just
Yeah.
rolling, you had rolled a dice for a page and you rolled another dice for whatever was on the page. And that has written a couple short stories for me.
Yeah, we in the early days in my Discord, we actually created a few sheets that were, you take a handful of dice, and you had columns that were things like character names, plot situations, what the climactic thing was going to be.
Yeah.
I forget what all is. We had 5 or 6 columns.
What the climax was going to be.
Given what we've been talking about, yes, I was poor phrasing on my part. And then you take a handful of dice, roll it, and you've got a full short story.
Yeah.
If you can write that combination of events.
Tom, when I was on the organized crime, the Panhandle Regional Organized Crime Task Force, we had to occasionally had to walk through the strip clubs as a showing the flag sort of thing. If you walk,
Is that what we're calling it?
yes,
now?
that's where we're going with that. Pun fully intended. Intend your puns, you weakling. If you walked into a strip club and saw a over 50% female audience, we turned around and walked out. And we were knuckle draggers. We were fully armed knuckle draggers.
Nope. Something we don't need
Yep.
to see here.
Walk in, you hear women yelling.
Nothing to
Woo!
see here.
Turn around, walk out.
Yeah.
No. I would rather. I've happily walked through Crystal Pistol, full of banditos. With me, I fucking the road cap the banditos the entire time, and been a hell of a lot more at ease than walking through a midnight rodeo full of a bunch a bridal party.
Yeah. Dawn says she was referring to the male strip shows, and those poor guys got shredded. Yeah.
That was not the gun she was grabbing.
Well, she was on to know what the flagpole was.
Well, I walked to the midnight rodeo one time for a bridal party.
Oh no.
That was not the gun she was grabbing, and she knew it.
And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
Yeah. I got
Before this goes any further in the sewer, because we're well below the toilet.
I have 2 announcements to make.
every one of those females 3 times.
Raconteur Press will be publishing probably Friday, maybe Thursday. You know how we are. And Alien Family Traditions.
Yes.
I can guarantee there are no strip clubs in this one. This one is supposed to be warm, fuzzy, feel-good stories. Sandra Medlock edited it, and she's a lovely, lovely lady. And she really went above and beyond in picking out some fantastic stories for this anthology. So I did the illustrations for it and wrote up some ads for it, which is rare for me. Usually I ask the Rack Press staff to generate ad copy because I'm not as funny as they are. And
Easy on the eggs, ladies.
And I wound up doing the ads for this one solo just because I was having so much fun with the stories and the art. So
Good.
And then on a more personal note, I will be releasing a story in the next few days called Following Trouble, which is an Underhill story. So this is Lom about 60 years before he meets Bella, when he was not a nice man. So it's very noir, but also fairy tale fantasy creatures. So
Well, good. Let me know and I'll publish it on the blog.
thanks.
Dreams of Gold and Fire is still selling well.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Along
we're
with
so
Boys
excited.
on Our Starship from Chris Nuttall.
It's holding at number 1.
And Dave Freer's Storm Dragon is still doing well.
Yeah, which has
Boys Adventures are
They're
doing,
selling so well. I am
doing
so
well.
excited, and we have more coming.
Yeah.
No, it's all fantastic, and we really
Poor,
appreciate
poor
everybody's
John is
support.
scrambling to generate more days in the year because we're getting so much good stuff.
And Nick Nethery's second install of his series is up.
Yep.
Second installment. And the third one will be coming up shortly.
Or
like tomorrow.
or you can just go ahead and buy the full novel in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's called
No,
Relics
no.
of the Fallen.
Read the serials and then buy the novel. Spoil yourself. Indulge your reading habit. Read it twice.
Yeah.
Why not?
Do not tell my schedule your cursor. Shit, John is generally trying to generate new days because, good God,
Anyway, folks,
only 365 days in a year. We need 380.
remember, don't sweat the fatty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. And most of all, folks, be safe out there. It's hot. Make sure you stay hydrated. And if you have no choice but to be outside, be careful.
Y'all be careful.
We
Get your
will see you on
electrolytes.
Thursday. Some of us will. I don't know who.
I'll be here because I'm only allowed 20 minutes to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I will be here.
All
So it's 8:30. Got 20 minutes to talk about Rack
I'm
Press.
off the hook.
Oh, this time.
Yeah.
This
Oh, no.
time.
I meant for Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You are.
I'm on a writing jag. I would like to tuck myself in my studio, close the door, and just stay there.
What's that like?
I'm in a
Very nice. I recommend it.
process of trying to write and